The times have changed, haven't they? We have evolved. You know, it's not what obtained in the time of our parents or grandparents that obtains now. If we even look at our children, we can see that they are doing things differently. But what is most amazing, we all want the same result. Now, anything that will last, that will be stable, that will be result-oriented and positively impactful, takes hard work. Whether we do it with grit and sweat or we take it calmly and personally, what we want is still the same. We're still talking about a mother's love and a father's sacrifice. Today is another day, Elohim,
Celebrate mothers.
mothers, and all the good women of the continent,
All the good
on the world, in fact. Happy Mother's Day! My name is Thelma Obaze. Patience Eloy, take it from here.
Okay. Who sat and watched my infant head when sleeping on my cradle bed, and tears so sweet affection shed? My mother.
Okay, Patience, the
Yeah.
less busy hands, put them
Yeah.
together. Dib, how are you doing today? Take it away. Namaste.
Namaste.
Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk. Namaste. Hello to everyone. I am Dipti Ranjan Mohanty, a trained yoga teacher from High Commission of India, Abuja, CGTNASI. Now we perform Naukasana. Nauka means boat. So the posture name is Naukasana or boat posture. Before that, we should know the contraindication. Those who are suffering from peptic ulcer, hernia, sciatica, slip disc, severe back pain, they should avoid this posture. In case of pregnancy, women should avoid this posture. So, now outstretch your both legs. Straight your both legs. Now come to lying down position. Lie down on your back. Both hands side of your body, palm facing down. Both feet together. Now breathe in, raise your both leg. Raise your both hand, raise your head. Forehead and both big toe parallel to each other. Feet should be 50 centimeters above the floor. Breathe out slowly down. Breathe in, tight your abdominal muscles, raise your both legs, raise your head, raise your both hand, both palms above your knee. Balance this posture through your buttock. Breathe out slowly down. Once more, breathe in, raise your both legs, raise your hands, raise your forehead. Now with normal breathing, maintain this posture up to 20 seconds. Tight your abdominal muscles. Don't lose it throughout the practice. Breathe out slowly down. Now we will do the variation of Naukasana. Bend your right knee, place your right foot above your left thigh. Breathe in, hold the breath inside, raise your left leg up, raise your head, raise your both arm, both palm above your left knee. Breathe out slowly down. Once more, breathe in, raise your left leg up, head up, Breathe out, slowly down. Now change your legs. Straight your right leg, bend your left knee. Place your left foot top of your right thigh. Breathe in, raise your right leg up, head up. Breathe out, slowly down. Breathe in, hold the breath inside, tight your abdominal muscles. Breathe out, slowly down. Release the posture. Release your legs. Now come to sitting posture. Turn towards your left side, come to sitting posture. Naukasana, boat pose. This asana stimulates the muscular, digestive, circulatory, nervous and hormonal systems, tones all the organs and removes lethargy. It is especially useful for eliminating nervous tension and bringing about deep relaxation. It is also useful for women preparing for childbearing and may be practiced during the second trimester for pregnancy. Thank you for joining the yoga session. See you next time. Namaste. Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk.
Thank you so much, Deep. Always ensuring that our body, mind, and souls are well using yoga.
We all agree that the family is a microcosm of the society. We started the conversation yesterday highlighting the fact that when the family unit, that's a nuclear family that is successful, the extended is good, then society is even better for it. And that's why we're delving in again today about our homes, our couples, what's happening, a mother's love, a father's sacrifice, or many fathers' sacrifice. Francis, you are delving in again today, and you want to bring forth information to provide more clarity and a direction for our discourse. Please, take the center stage now.
In Nigerian society, traditional gender expectations have historically portrayed men and fathers as the protectors and providers. While these roles still hold importance in certain contexts, there is a growing recognition of the multifaceted nature of parenthood.
The roles of parents have not changed, but rather have been challenged by economic circumstances, environmental circumstances, and other pressures, societal pressures. The thing is, women have roles that have been stereotyped for them. A woman cooks is a stereotype. Anybody can cook. The only thing that is not a stereotype, a woman gives birth. A man does not give birth. But two of them are involved in the process at some point. Then, funding of the home, financing the home, the men have been stereotyped as being the ones that do that. Yes, a man provides for his home, and the wife helps to make sure that resources is properly utilized. There is nowhere written in any book that it is only the man that will provide. The woman will continue to support. The woman is a helper. So if the woman at a point when the man is unable to provide or has never even provided and the woman can provide, she goes ahead to do that. You don't shy away from, if your home will collapse.
As parental roles continue to evolve, driven by societal changes and shifting cultural norms, the collective efforts of mothers and fathers in providing love, guidance, and support remain foundational to building a brighter future for Nigeria.
Often, a man plays a lot of role, quite all right, but I think that the role a man plays, concrete, is visible, you can see, but the one that matters most is the one that appears invisible, that appears non-concrete. Some people, is soft, but is invaluable. So, but nothing stops a man from going to school or paying that school fees or going to buy if he still that bothers him. For me, it doesn't bother me. Who does it doesn't bother me. I make the resources available.
The approval of paternity leave for fathers in the Nigerian civil service marks a significant step towards promoting gender equality, supporting working families and fostering stronger parent-child bonds.
Yeah, you know, when a woman comes out from delivery, after having a baby, you need all the support. The woman needs all the support she can get. Because usually, traditionally, you see that you go and bring your in-law or even your own mother to stay with your wife when she has delivered. So, and often there may be need for somebody who will also help in other ways. And over the years, you see that men who happen to stay around their wives at that time have a lot of role to play. You may have to go to market to buy things. You may have to entertain people that come to their house. You may have to make money available for emergencies that will arise. So it's a good thing to have paternity leave. It's obtainable in the developed world. We are still developing. And now, as part of our development process, we have adopted that practice. So it's a leverage. 2 weeks may be short, but it's a good input to the family.
As for the discrepancy in Mother's Day and Father's Day's observances, it's reflective of societal priorities and perceptions. Motherhood is often celebrated more extensively due to its historical association with nurturing and caregiving, while fatherhood, although equally important, has traditionally been less emphasized in public discourse and celebrations.
So if there are a lot of international day for the girl child, International Women's Day, the church, Women's Day, but you see the problem is that this harmony. Yes, there's an agreement, we'll do Women's Day, but the Catholics do theirs on a different Sunday, the Anglicans do theirs on a different, Pentecostal do theirs on a different. So that makes it look multiple, as if there is a lot of activities going on. But whatever accolade, whatever recognition women get, they deserve it.
Their sacrifices, whether through parental leave initiatives, emotional support, or financial stability, contribute significantly to fostering a more inclusive and prosperous society. Therefore, Weekend Deal today is captioned, "A mother's love, a father's sacrifice."
Indeed, a mother's love, a father's sacrifice. Like we said at the beginning of the show, today again is Mother's Day. And like that man said, it's looking like there are multiple Mother's Day, but there are not days enough to sacrifice what a woman brings to the table. And that does not negate the role of a father, because if you look at it critically, without the father, a mother cannot be a mother. And so in our own ways, we celebrate our fathers. But the question we've been asking since yesterday, and we've answered in so many ways, is why are fathers not celebrated as mothers are? Why is that disparity? Our next contribution from NTA will examine the traditional roles of fathers. Let's see this, and we can talk more.
I loved my dad more than my mom because I'm the last born and I was closer to him.
I love my mom. I love both of them.
I don't have favorite, I love both of them.
I love both.
Fatherhood is a profound and honorable responsibility, transcending borders and cultures in Nigeria, where family values and traditions hold immense significance. The role of a father is regarded with utmost relevance. A good father in Nigeria is not only a provider or protector, but also a nurturing figure who guides, supports, and molds the future generation. What then is the significance of fathers in Nigerian families?
Are meant to be leaders of the families. They are supposed to set a pace for others to follow. They are supposed to take responsibility.
A father is a leader, is the head of the family, is a provider, is the one that supports everything.
Being a father has to do with responsibility. Because you are the head of the family, you are the one to cater for the family. You don't depend on your wife. As a man, you need to provide for your wife and your children.
In my home, as a father and as a husband, I'm supposed to take good care of my wife and my children.
A father is supposed to cater for the home, raise financial parts of the home, give rules in the house, and making sure that the home is in a good condition.
He plays a lot of role as the head of the family. He provides for the family, he provides for both the wife and children.
Many fathers today are equally involved in both the parenting of their children and the upkeep of the household. Fathers have assumed three primary roles as the protector, the provider, and the disciplinarian. Are this responsibility clearly defined?
Some fathers, they are lacking behind because they are leaving all their responsibilities to their wives. I would say so because most of them will give excuse like I'm up to work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But a father has a vital role to play because a father mostly influences the children more than the mother.
There are some responsible men that still put up to expectation. They take care of their responsibilities.
It is not good that a man leave the care of the family into the hands of the woman because God says a man is the head of the family.
The man is supposed to take the responsibility of the family and the wife is supposed to help. But men of nowadays, when they realize that the woman is up and doing, they will just feel reluctant. They don't want to do anything. There are some responsible men that still put up to expectation. They take care of their responsibility. For me as a woman, I support him in my own little way.
The husband is not available or is not capable of taking care of the home. That's why some mothers are taking the responsibilities in the house.
God gave women to men so that they can be supportive to them. So at that point, it doesn't mean that lazy. Now you know Nigeria, things are very difficult. So at that point, if a woman be lazy and sit down, that means you will kill your husband. So it's necessary for the women to support them also.
Family is where life begins. Therefore, it is typical that every man, irrespective of social and health status, take responsibility for their families, which is an effect of the social values attached to their roles in the society.
It's Weekend Hill, and guess what? Of course, you already know because we began our conversation yesterday. A mother's love and then a father's sacrifice. Like Patience earlier on shared with us, women celebrated more often than the men are, than the male folk are. Are we celebrating our mothers and fathers equally? Is there really a disparity? And if there is there a reason why? And should that reason transcend time and seasons? Join us on the conversation today. Our program is interactive. What's happening with you in your part of the country or the continent? Share with us on the show today. We'll be glad to listen, to read out, and to learn. Our guests are here. Interesting conversation awaits you. Let's begin to greet and welcome them. I welcome first Honorable Rifikatu Chidawa, former Commissioner of Tourism and Culture in Niger State, a wife, a mother, an educationist, and a great mentor to me and many other women in Nigeria and the continent. Let's get to see her profile.
Mama, you're welcome to Weekend Do. Thank you so very much.
It's a pleasure to have you
Yes,
with us.
pleasure. Always a pleasure. So our next guest is a friend to the show. He's been here wearing different caps all the time. And each time he comes, he contributes and makes our program a whole lot richer. Today he's looking regal. And I asked him, I said, is there a plan? But then again, he is the Baba Mufti Adamawa. Please join me in welcoming to the Weekend studio, Engineer Umar Buba Bende. Let's see him virtually.
Baba Mufti Adamawa, you're welcome to Weekend Do.
Thank you very much, and it's a very, very lovely day.
Fantastic. Great to have you with us. Wisdom, we often say, is profitable to direct. I've spoken with him, several years ago, and I tell you, I came away so enriched and nourished. It's a pleasure to welcome and greet, especially former Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, and of course, a renowned name in any sphere you want to talk about in Nigeria and on the continent. Let's welcome. Let's see his profile. I'm talking about Dr. Osita Okechukwu. Okay, Mr. Osita Okechukwu.
You're welcome to the Weekend studio, sir. Okay, so we'll start our conversation. It's all about mother's love and the sacrifice, and I'll start with Mommy Rifka too. Mama, let me even start by telling you Happy Mother's Day, because today is another Mother's Day. All of us Mother's Day. Another Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, self, because you are married, your wives are there, they are watching. Please send our love to all of them.
Mothers all over. It's another Mother's Day. Why do you think, Ma, that mothers are more celebrated than fathers, given the sacrifices that our fathers bring to the table? Why do you think mothers are more celebrated, from your own point of view?
Excuse me. Thank you very much. It's not supposed to be so anyway. It's supposed to be both mothers and fathers, because the mother cannot bring up the child alone.
Yes, true.
It has to be together with the father. And for the fact that mothers are more appreciated, it's because, maybe because the mother carries the child
9 months.
for 9 months. And then after that, when the baby is out, the pains of labor, the baby is out, and the suckling period.
Another 3 years in your arms.
The suckling period, where the child keeps looking at the mother every minute of the day. And where the mother keeps, cleaning up, and the mother, the child grows up, seeing the mother all the time.
All the sacrifices.
And because the child is seeing the mother all the time, the child grows up, linking closely to the mother. But there are some fathers who take over.
True.
And the growing up of a child, the impact period of a child is between 4, 5, 6, During that time, some fathers are very clever. They get close to it.
So they're clever, I like that.
Right.
Yes.
They get close because one thing about the growing child is getting close.
Yes.
Maybe at that particular time, the mother will be very busy with other children, and the father captures and keeps doing all the things that,
Mother should drop. Yes.
And then from there, the love comes in. I don't forget that whatever you do to a child when he's growing, he hardly forgets.
Yes.
So like me, I always cherish my father.
I love my father
Without
too.
my father, I wouldn't be where I am.
I agree.
Because he was very close to me.
Yes.
He really showed me love. The girl-child education was very important to him. And he showed that. And so I grew up feeling so much close to my father. I was daddy's pet.
When you hear of this topic, father's sacrifice, mother's love, what comes to mind as a husband, as a father, as a Nigerian, as a son of the soil?
Many issues comes to mind because for us in Africa, we do not joke with our parents.
True.
For us as Christians, early in life, or as a Muslim, early in life, they take you to Quranic schools and they take us to catechism. Yes. And in that catechism, they will also start by telling you that among the 10 commandments is honor your mother and your father. I think it's the 5th. But my mother used to emphasize it. He said if you want at the end of the day to survive and grow, if you don't honor your father and your mother, you will not go far. And when they do the thematic notes of our Lord's prayers, one of them is praise. That he must praise our Lord, he must praise our Lord. So they also tell you that we are paying school fees for him. My father used to emphasize that. He will tell you that it might not be there when you start working, or when you become a millionaire, or whatever God wants you to be. So the school you are going is for yourself. So if you fail, make sure you are failing for yourself. I might not be there. The other day in the television, I think the television and others, a lady was shouting that the child came late.
Yes, we watched it, yes.
To school.
Yes.
The school started by 8:30. And the child came by 8 a.m. The child came by 8:30 and they said he should go home. Why should I drive my child? I paid school fees at the beginning of the season. So we are losing a lot.
We are losing our values.
We are losing a lot. And they will have placed money ahead of values that we know before. So if you don't have money now, in some meetings, you raise your hand. They say, please, can you sit down? Let that man finish. When we finish now, you only throw your grammar. Let's hear from the man who wants to do something or is going to do the work. You can speak, but leave him to finish.
You speak later. You speak later. Oh, money. Oh, money. Okay, I've seen all this. Engineer, sir. It's father's love, mother's love, father's sacrifice. And yesterday, one of the things we said is that our men are too strong. They don't want to be in touch with their emotions. A father might be going through whatever he's going through. This morning, my director program sent me a video of a man whose wife was accusing him of not being emotional. And when this man started talking, I actually nearly cried. He said, when was the last time anybody asked me, how are you doing? That was deep. Do you think men should be more in touch with their emotions? Do you think people should cry more? Like a whole lot of women love it when the man they love is vulnerable before them once in a while. What are men too strong? It's an African thing.
Don't encourage us to cry, because we will stop. Telling you. But actually, the whole value chain from the beginning to the end, take it as a project. And it doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter the religion or the culture or the country. It's a project. It has a beginning, it has a process, it has results, and it has an end. So the difference is, how do we do that? And all of us that went to school, all of us did different projects, although in the same school, same teachers, and the approach differs, you know. So men to be stereotyped as this, and women to be stereotyped as that. In this project of man, woman, and family and children, everybody has to put there's no template that will tell you that this is what you do, this is what you get, and so on and so on. It's up to you. So if God empowers you, whether through your culture, or your ethnicity, or your religion, or your education, or your working experience, if God blesses you with the skill to manage yourself and manage the environment, you will pass. It's just like any other exam. If you are now very, very erratic and you know, you're jumping up and down, you will just have a continuous non-stop wahala. So for me, for over 30-something years I've been married, I try to make sure that immediately I enter the house, I will say, where is my sweetheart? So even my children say, they know my mommy is upstairs. So I said, with my computer and everything, I say, oh, I better see her. So I put my bag, I run upstairs. Hello, love, how was your day? And then she said, all right. But I now will know how her day is, because if she said she's on her computer, it's all right. And now I know. But she said, oh, hey, how are you? Dad, you're late today. I know. So, oh, today I got you an avocado. It's in the fridge. I know. So you have to walk around the whole thing, and
so that's where wisdom.
This is and it's a lifetime. So no church or mosque will give you a template.
I love
no culture that is dressing or dancing will give you a template. But if you're lucky, and you just glean from all the bits and pieces you do, including when I see an elderly person, I take my shoes off. That is our culture. And you kneel down. There's no way that old man will forget you. And I want to conclude this part by giving an example. I was to give a convocation lecture at the University of Benin. And the Lamido of Adamawa, who is my Lamido, was there as the chancellor. And then the lecturer's seat and the chancellor's seat are the same. So it's the 3-seater. I was supposed to sit by that side, and he was sitting there. So I came in, I saw the program, and I spoke to some few people. So I went back to the lecture theater, right at the back, and I sat there. So they were making speeches. Oh, then we now get the lecture, Dr. Bindi, blah, 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 blah. So I lifted my hand. I waved like this. Come and have a seat. So I lifted my phone, pretended that I was receiving a call. I did like this, and I was so they passed that. So they went ahead. I sat over there until they called me to give the lecture. So I just came down and went straight to the podium. Why? Because I cannot sit with this man on the same chair. No convocation can make me do that.
Culturally.
Because that's your level. Don't pass that level because you are a doctor, you are a professor, you are an engineer. No, you haven't reached. So you have to remember that. It's the same way with your wife. This wife, she suffered a lot. When you put all the inputs of what your wife does, you will cry sometimes by yourself. And therefore you have to quickly think about, how can I make this lady happy?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. So this is how I look at the whole dynamics. And anybody who doesn't play like this, you will go to a house, you'll see crisis, you'll go to the house, and so on and so forth.
Wow. Very interesting and dynamic, way to live.
Yes.
But we do know that in many cultures, they prepare a woman to enter her husband's house. We do know that, but we'll come back to that when we come back from the short break. You're watching Weekend Do. We're glad to have you. The conversation is rich and vibrant, but we need your input. Our program is interactive. What's happening with you? What our elders are saying? Are they communicating with you? Is that how it is with you? Tell us when we return from this break. A break beckons, we'll take it now.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, it is Weekend Deal. We've taken a look at the traditional role of the father. Let's take a look now at what the traditional roles of a mother is. And NTA Asaba will be leading this conversation.
Traditional roles of mothers varies across culture and period. Historically, mothers were primarily tasked with bearing, raising, nurturing children, managing household duties, and supporting their families emotionally and otherwise. This involved everything from cooking, cleaning, to providing comfort and guidance to their children and family member at large, as well as taking care of the husband.
The traditional role of the woman in a home, from my understanding, is that the woman takes care of the home in terms of ensuring that everybody in the home is well cared for.
Traditionally, biologically, and spiritually, there are fundamental roles confined in a woman. Somebody who want to look at it, that the first school that a child is naturally recruited into is that of proper parenting from the mother.
In many traditional societies, mothers were expected to prioritize their family needs above their own, often sacrificing their personal ambitions or career aspirations to ensuring the well-being of their children or wards, giving emotional support during times of hardship, instilling cultural values and traditions within the family unit.
The traditional roles of women as of the yesteryears, they are still same. But there are some things that have made some changes. The things that have made some changes that we're seeing now are the influence of social media in our environment, in our lives.
Infiltration of Western culture really seemingly to be eroding this traditional role. You find that majority of people who ordinarily supposed to still be under parenthood are now the one parenting.
Mothers often play crucial roles in transmitting knowledge and skill to their children, teaching them essential life lessons, social norms, and practical skills necessary for survival and success in their respective societies.
Right from time immemorial, we have mothers who have been transmitting knowledge to their children and to their wards. Then we also have mothers who do not transmit knowledge. As a young girl, in the environment I grew up, we saw the two cases of such mothers. It is population that has really increased. For us to know if it is more than that, we have to take actual statistics and do the percentage.
While the roles of mother have evolved over the time with changing social norms, economic conditions, and technological advancement, many aspects of traditional motherhood continue to influence societal expectations and perceptions of maternal responsibilities today. In Nigeria households, mothers often play a central role in managing, nurturing the family and impacting values in their children. This earns them respect for their wisdom, guidance, strong sense of community and family ties, and doggedness. Mothers are the hearts of the home. Therefore, it is expected of them to uphold certain societal norms and values to femininity, modesty, and family honor, which it translates into the society. Therefore, in a case where mothers fail in their duties, children often come up wayward and half-baked.
Teacher is also reiterating some of the information we have shared here today, that we have evolved. Even in marriages, in unions, even maybe you married at 25 or at 30 or 22, 30 years later, as society has evolved, as modernity has come closer to us, the world is now a global village, we are not the same people. But obviously, our principles and our goal ought not to change. This project that Engineer Brinde has brought to the fore, that a union, a marriage, a family is a project that is a starting, middle, and ending. Our focus having success at the end still has not changed, irrespective of modernity. That feature also told us that social media, that's modernity, that's sophistication, that's awareness, is impacting unions and by association our children. We'll still come back again to our focal point. Mother's love, father's sacrifice. So how have all this information we're sharing, how is it impacting the couple, and then their units, the family? Is there a change such that it is bringing negative impact on these two very important people?
Well, just like he rightly said, it's a project which you have to follow. And it depends on the individual. He has a policy and he followed it, strictly, creating peace in the home. Without peace, the home cannot stand. And when a woman is not ready to understand, there comes the problem. And the man that is in the home struggling, because like she rightly said, today women are working. So, and because of that, sometimes it brings conflict in the home.
And some are earning more.
Some are earning more. And because some are earning more, when the husband is not ready to understand, to appreciate, to feel, comfortable with that, it creates a lot of problem. There are men who don't see the need to take up their responsibilities in the home. Yesterday, I listened to somebody who said during the program that when children grow up to see the type of home their mother and their fathers are living, they grow up to feeling that if this is how my mother suffered, I will not want it to happen to me. Bad influence on the child that will soon have her own home. But when the children, grow up to see the way their parents interact, like he rightly said, affecting the child is seeing you, the way you interact with your husband, the way you appreciate your husband, the way he does the same, the way he showers her with praises and love, they will grow up to, so homes can be very happy like this. The only thing that makes a home and the society happy, it starts from the home. The mother and the father are happy, playing with the child, especially when the children are growing up seeing this. They grow up with it. When you wake up in the morning, the children see you, especially when you hold on to religion. Very, 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 very seriously. They are growing up to see you very close to God, and you are involving them, you are teaching them, you are leading them, you are carrying them. They will grow up to know that you fear God. Because the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And when they grow up into it and seeing that, they themselves will want to grow, doing the same. Don't expect anything different from your children. When you don't, do as I do, not as I say.
Talking about this, children, we do know that children, we've established the fact that children celebrate their mothers more than they do their fathers. And like you said, when there's love in the home, I thank God I come from such home because mommy and daddy are together. And I say, thank you, mommy and daddy, if you're watching. Do you think that men, their primary role as providers, so men take it overboard without creating a balance? I remember a senior colleague of ours, his son got married, and when he came to the office the next day, he said he cried at the wedding. I said, it's women that normally will cry when their daughters are getting married, or men even when their daughters, the same guy that got married, you're bringing it. He said, no. That when he looked at his son and he remembered that because of this job, he can't remember ever helping this boy to tie his shoelaces. He said he cried because this job was taken. His wife did everything. Do you think men need to create a balance where, as busy as you are, do be in your son's life or your daughter's life? Because some men take their roles as provider to the extreme and never bond with their children. They're just the ATM machines of the home. No emotional connection. Please speak to that.
As engineer said, it differs from one home to the other. The truth of the matter is that I was almost coming to about 9 years when I knew actually that my father funded the household. Initially, I was just asking myself, my father was a bicycle repairer, so he spent most of the time at the workshop. And I'm asking myself, what did this man contribute
Hmm.
in the home?
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
Until one day, I told my father, I said, I don't know why people always buy me rubber sandals for Christmas. And that mommy keep on buying rubber sandals. Please, could you buy me canvas? So at the end of, we're getting close to Christmas. My mother returned with the rubber sandals again. So I couldn't say thank you. So when my father came, my father said, I learned you didn't appreciate the sandal they bought for you, I bought for you. I said, you didn't buy it. He said, I'm the one. That when you get married, take this advice. If you have 10 naira, give your wife 9. Where I stay at the workshop, a lot of people clog around me. If I keep the money in my pocket, none will return here. So normally what I do is to give your mother. That because I said, what if she buys, she's always buying trinkets. He said, but the trinket is at home. But if I leave the money in my pocket, I will spend it with my friends who come to the workshop, especially in the evening hours. But guess what? We couldn't buy sandals for you. I said, you are the one buying the sandals and you couldn't buy the canvas. He said, no. Who in this village do you know that wears canvas that is not in the college? I forgot the children of the rich that come once in a while with canvas and better shoes. So that I just leveled with the village scene. I accepted what he said. He said, guess what? The day you go to the college, I'll buy you sandals.
Okay, nice angle there. Nice angle. This conversation is so rich and it's so diverse and dynamic. We have messages coming in and many of them are saying they are taking a lot from the conversation and they like the fact that we are finding time to laugh and smile amidst it all. That our smiles and the fun we are creating is contagious. Okay, we'll be right back to continue our conversation. Keep your messages coming in. We're going to Benin. And once again, it's about the mothers, but not just your biological mother. It's all the mothers of our great nation. Odes to motherhood. Benin, please share.
Please sat and watch my infant head when sleeping on my cradle bed, and tears of sweet affection shed my mother.
In the field of musical art, mothers are eulogized as artists have continued to demonstrate in their songs.
Definitely children are about to talk about mother. From the meeting of the mother and the father, a child is being formed inside a woman. That closeness has already started till they give birth to the child. From after giving birth to the child to where the child is sucking. After then, the mother is always there. Then the mother is always watching over the child when he's sick, when he's okay, when he's not okay. He knows everything about the child.
Very often, it is the influence of the mother that guides the child in his or her early steps. So the relationship is very, very strong and it is intimate. Biologically, we have dealt with. Culturally, is apportioned that is the mother who sponsors the child initially.
From High Life, to Afrobeat, the unwavering love for mothers is expressed. The iconic Sweet Mother by Prince Nicole Mbanga, which sold more than 13 million copies and has spanned more than 4 decades, remains a typical example. Sweet Mother, I no go forget. In Edo, Northwest Nigeria, numerous indigenous artists
continue to highlight the strong love for mothers and their role in the upkeep of the family. The question is, why are mothers celebrated more often than fathers?
Fathers are always outside looking for means of livelihood. The mothers are the ones that are always there. And in the city, they do the running around the fathers, while the mothers are the ones who are known to do the school runs. And the children, through this process, at the beginning of their nurturing, get used to their mother the more. And so it's only when they now grow up, when they become reality of paying school fees and higher institution, that father throw begin to be well pronounced.
I love my mom. Not that I don't love my dad, but I love my mom. Mom is always special.
In retrospect, mothers are always a cause for celebration with the use of poems, songs, and other forms of art. But the truth is, fathers' love and care for their families cannot be overlooked. Fathers' immense sacrifices to the growth of the family, and by extension the society at large, is worthy of note.
The role of a mother, you can never overemphasize it. It's too integral. And even the men themselves will tell you, my mother. You know, even the men themselves that are not being celebrated, they'll tell you the role of my mother in my life. So, I mean, it's a cycle that continues, but we must create a balance somewhere. And Tema was just saying that the conversation we started earlier, men not opening up for us to know what their true feelings are. You know, men building a war around themselves. You know, as simple as asking a man, looking into his eyes, your father, your husband, saying, how are you? And meaning it would open up a discussion that would amaze you. Like engineer said, you'll be shocked. Engineer, why would we be shocked? Let's start from there. I like how you said, if a man opens up, if we're able to push those buttons.
I remember I said we shouldn't allow them to start crying.
Crying. So why are men afraid to be emotional? You know, in the midst of it all, you provide, they're breaking your back, and you may have your own issues. Why do you build this war around yourself?
Well, you see, even egg, if it is inside the shell, you will not know whether it has two yolks, or only one, or there's no yolk.
Yeah.
So somehow, it has to crack. Sometimes the wife has a way of cracking it. If it comes crudely, now crude will come out. If it comes softly, soft will come out.
Oh, I love this.
Look, I'll tell you a very short story. I'm from Yola. I'm a Fulani man. So anybody who knows the Fulani culture is a very subdued, quiet, and shy and so on and so forth. In addition to this, I come from an imam's house. And you know, when you are from an imam, everybody expects you're morally straight, you don't do ururu and so on and so forth. So I go to Yola with my wife. You know, then I go to my friends. You know, traditionally we sit under trees or whatever around the town, and you're just gisting and talking. So I park my car with my wife, and we drive around. That driving around alone is a shocker to the society. Why is he always with his wife? This Oyibo man, they will just call you Oyibo because you are behaving nice. So I will come and stop. I'll carry my wife. I will hold her hand like this, and I'll start talking to my friends. You stupid man, because we are all age mates. And then I'll say, hey, my wife, you see that man there? When he used to beat me. Then they will laugh. Then I will hold her by the shoulder. All right? So all this on the street. So I'll open the door for her. She will sit inside the car and I'll drive off. So one night, one of my friends came and said, doctor, why you? Do you still love your wife? I said, what do you mean? Say, I see you holding her hand, holding her and talking to her nicely. I said, what do you do to your wife? He said, let me tell you. Me, once I face that house, what is inside me is just to enter and slap her, because I know she will annoy me. You see, we are operating from two different angles. And we're the same, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that both of you, you have to create that ambience, crack the shell And don't worry. And then we created a day for games, family games day, every Sunday. By the time we finish praying Isha, we sit down, whether it's on TV, whether it's Ludo or Monopoly, we have all that in the house. You have to create this, otherwise it will break away. Once it breaks away that you are coming into the house, you don't talk to your son, you don't talk to your daughter, your wife is looking in one kind, you've lost it.
Honorable Rifka, please take us there. We are here now to settle issue in cases where it's not working. Very interesting dimension.
It is.
Can every family imbibe this? Obviously, they are creating happy children.
It boils down to communication, just like he said. There must always be communication in the home. And this, bridge or gap in the family, creates a lot of problems. That sometimes the man will just feel, okay, after all, she doesn't want to see me, I will just move out. Or the wife will just enter the kitchen and begin to sing songs. Those type of songs. When she's not happy, when he has not provided, is it not me who will go in here, look for this, look for that? And when the children are seeing, they will conclude, just like you said, if the man is not really there to show, or when the man comes back home with sugar cane, comes back home with sweet or cake, and then the children will come and say, oh, yo, carry bread home or whatever, always thinking that it's their mother bringing everything when she goes to the market, and then the man has never proven that he has been providing, even in the bedroom. The man can, put the money and say, okay, this is for the project for the week. All you need to buy and whatever. The children are not there seeing the money. And when the woman goes to the market and brings everything, oh, mommy, welcome. You were able to buy this, you were able. And she will not come out and say, no, it's your father that gave me all the money.
Yes.
So they will grow up with that, feelings that after all, their father is not doing anything. Especially when the father is the type that will not have time for the family. Do yourself a favor, love your children. Because when you look at, if you are loving your wife, you are loving yourself. If you are loving your children, you are loving yourself. You may not understand now, but when you are aging, the love you have been given. And then this woman, who was really very honest with her husband, now said one day to the children, I am not ready to leave your father alone. If you like, bring the child here. And we will sit down together.
You. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because the man was there for her when they were bringing up these children.
Okay, no, we'll continue that conversation. It is, but we'll be talking about ideal situations. And when we come back, we're going to go to sports. Whether we like it or not, divorce is real and families separate. How do mothers and fathers manage children in such a way that the children have respect for both parties? I want us to talk about that. We're rounding off. Let me quickly allow Mr. Sita tell us. Just react. We're ending the shows.
What I advise families is let's take forth at dawn, set forth at dawn. Teach the children little things. Yes. Please. The words like please. Thank you. Sorry. Forgiveness.
Forgive me.
The capital that is honesty.
Thank you. And there have been the one word.
Well, the one word is that I think we've discussed, but the government has to support this to thrive. And I think one area is that poverty is too high in our country. The women in rural areas are the real women to be celebrated. Okay. They know how to do so many things. Okay. So let us change that informality to formality, bring prosperity to the community.
Let's change the narrative. Okay.
Yeah, we have to change the narrative. And the woman should continue to stand firm, because the woman is the pillar in the home. Without the woman, the home will not stand firm. So the woman should continue in her patience and make sure that her children do not go to sleep in hunger.
Wow. It takes a community to raise the children. All the children in Nigeria are ours, not just our biological children. Let us invest in them as much as we can. God bless our great country, Nigeria.